What if I told you that beneath layers of ancient ice, some of the world's strangest discoveries have been frozen in time? From a perfectly preserved Iron Age warrior, to an alien-looking creature no one can identify, to an entire lost 𝐬𝐿 plane squadron entombed for decades. These aren't just frozen relics, they're frozen mysteries. Today, we're counting down the top 10 most mysterious objects ever found in ice, from the curious to the downright chilling. Stay to the end, because number 1 might just rewrite history as we know it. Starting off the mysteries, at number 10, let me introduce you to Blue Babe, the ancient steppe icon that's one of the weirdest things ever found frozen in ice. Back in 1979, a gold miner in Alaska was just digging around when he stumbled upon a chunk of meat sticking out of the permafrost. But this wasn't any frozen steak, it was the mummified body of a prehistoric bison. Scientists were shocked. The body was so well preserved, it still had skin, muscle lac, and even fur. And the skin, it had turned bright blue. Why? Turns out the color came from a chemical reaction between the bison's flesh and iron in the soil as it froze over millennia. This bison died around 36,000 years ago, probably taken down by an ice age predator like a cave lion. Its frozen body became a natural time capsule from the ice age, and no one expected it to survive that long. And get this, scientists actually cooked and tasted a small sample of Blue Babe's meat. Yep, prehistoric bison stew. From gold mine to science lab, Blue Babe is one of the most mysterious, deliciously weird discoveries ever pulled from the ice. What else could be hiding in the permafrost? Coming up next at number 9, imagine hiking through icy mountains and finding a 5,000-year-old murder mystery, frozen in time. Meet 𝐬𝐨𝐫𝐫𝐞 the Iceman, discovered in 1991 in the Alps, perfectly preserved in ice for over 5,000 years. But what stunned scientists? It wasn't just his body, it was what he carried. Clutched beside him was a copper axe. Yes, real metalwork, thousands of years before the Iron Age. This axe wasn't just for show, it was expertly crafted, with a wooden handle and a solid copper blade. No one expected ancient humans to have this level of metal technology so early. But wait, it gets weirder. The copper traced back to modern-day Tuscany, over 300 miles away. How did a man from the Alps get metal from Italy? Trade? Travel? A mission? No one knows. And here's the twist. His axe was in perfect shape, while his body showed signs of violence. Arrow wound, blunt force trauma. Someone wanted 𝐬𝐶 dead, but left his axe untouched. So, was this axe a symbol of power, a tool, a trophy, or the clue to a prehistoric crime scene frozen in time? The Alps may have preserved 𝐬𝐶, but his copper axe? That might be the key to unlocking a lost chapter of human history. Next up at number 8, in 1942, 6 P-38 fighter planes and 2 B-17 bombers made an emergency landing on a glacier in Greenland during World War II, and then they vanished. That's right, a massive search party was sent, but nothing. Not a scrap. It's like the ice swallowed them whole. For decades, treasure hunters and aviation buffs called it the Lost Squadron. People thought the planes would just be sitting there on the surface. Nope, Greenland's ice had a secret weapon. Snow falls, turns to ice, and buries everything under hundreds of feet. By the time searchers found a radar blip in 1988, the squadron was 260 feet below the surface. It took years of digging, steam drills, and pure obsession. But finally, they pulled out one of the P-38s, perfectly preserved, like a time capsule from World War II. They called her Glacier Girl. Yep, she was actually rebuilt and flew again. A plane trapped under ice for 50 years, soaring once more. From frozen mystery to flying history. Up next at number 7, imagine walking across the frozen deserts of Antarctica and stumbling upon a bird that's been mummified for over 5,000 years. That's exactly what scientists found. Dozens of mummified Adelie penguins and other seabirds, perfectly preserved by the brutal cold and dry Antarctic winds. But here's the strange part. Some of the birds look like they had died just yesterday, with feathers, skin, and even organs still intact. Others were hundreds, or even thousands of years old, dating back to before the pyramids were built. So, what happened? Experts believe mega snowstorms buried these colonies alive, and then the freezing air turned them into nature's ice-cold time capsules. No rot, no predators, just ice and time. But not all the mysteries are solved. Some sites had bones scattered everywhere, like a scene out of a frozen horror movie. Was it a sudden blizzard? A mass die-off? A predator long gone? No one knows for sure. It's one of the weirdest things ever found in ice, and proof that Antarctica hides secrets older than civilization itself. So next time you hear about frozen mysteries, just remember, the ice doesn't forget. Up next at number 6, imagine climbing a volcano and finding a perfectly preserved child, frozen in time for 500 years. Sounds like something out of a movie, right? Meet the Incan ice maidens, some of the most mysterious and haunting discoveries ever found in ice. Back in 1999, scientists climbed Argentina's Mount 𝐿𝐿𝐴𝐴𝐿𝐴, one of the world's highest volcanoes, and stumbled upon a chilling secret. Inside a stone tomb at 22,000 feet, they found the frozen bodies of 3 Incan children, 2 girls and a boy. But this wasn't some tragic accident. They were sacrifices. The best preserved of them all? A girl, now known as La Doncella, or the Maiden. She still had braided hair. Her clothes were intact. And get this, her blood blood still had red cells. These children were chosen for their beauty and purity and taken up the mountain for a sacred ritual known as 𝐾𝐿, believed to bring prosperity from the gods. But here's the wild part. The freezing temperatures naturally mummified them for over 5 centuries, turning them into human time capsules. They weren't buried in ice. They became part of it, a heartbreaking, fascinating mystery frozen in time. So next time you hear about things found in ice, remember, sometimes the past looks right back at you. Halfway there. At number 5, what if I told you scientists once found a massive mummified finger buried deep in Siberian ice, and it might not be human? Back in the 1970s, a team of Russian explorers stumbled across something absolutely bizarre in the Altai Mountains, a giant severed finger preserved in the permafrost. But here's the kicker. It was hairy, thick, and nearly twice the size of a human finger. Locals didn't bat an eye. Why? Because for generations, they'd told stories about the 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞, a mysterious ape-like creature said to roam Siberia. Basically, Russia's version of the Yeti, and this was possibly its finger. Even stranger, the finger didn't match any known animal species. It wasn't bear, wolf, or primate. Some researchers believed it came from an undiscovered hominid, or maybe something far more ancient, frozen in time. But just when things got exciting, the finger disappeared. That's right. After being studied briefly, the artifact was reportedly lost in the shuffle of Soviet archives. No one knows where it is today. No photos, no DNA tests, just a few scribbled notes and a whole lot of mystery. So what was it? A Yeti? A Neanderthal relic? Or a hoax lost to history? Until it resurfaces, or another one is found, the Siberian Yeti finger remains one of the strangest and coldest mysteries on Earth. If your finger ever goes numb in the cold, just be glad it's still attached. Up next at number 4, what if I told you there's a prehistoric forest frozen deep beneath Antarctica? Not just some trees. We're talking about a whole ecosystem trapped in ice for over 90 million years. Yeah, this is one of the most mind-blowing discoveries ever found in ice. Antarctica, the land of ice and penguins, was once a lush green rainforest. Scientists drilling into the ice near the 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞 stumbled upon something totally unexpected. Soil samples containing fossilized roots, pollen, and even leaf structures perfectly preserved under the glacier. This isn't a sci-fi movie. This is real-life science. Back in the age of the dinosaurs, around 90 million years ago, Antarctica was warm and humid. There was no ice cap, and temperatures averaged around 68 degrees, 20 degrees Celsius. And guess what? Conifer trees grew there, along with flowering plants and even ferns. The discovery showed signs of seasonal light cycles, meaning the forest adapted to months of darkness, just like today, but without the cold. And here's the twist. This forest wasn't just a local patch. It might have stretched across much of West Antarctica. We're talking about a lost world, a snapshot of Earth's deep past, buried beneath miles of ice. But how did it all get frozen? Scientists believe massive climate shifts caused the forest to be buried by volcanic ash, and eventually, glaciers rolled in and locked it away like a prehistoric time capsule. Now, it raises big questions. Could ancient microbes still survive in that frozen soil? And if Earth warmed once before, could it happen again? The frozen forests of Antarctica aren't just a cool science story. They're a warning, a wonder, and a window into our planet's hidden history. One of the most mysterious and jaw-dropping discoveries ever trapped in ice. What other secrets are still buried beneath the cold? Next up at number 3, what's icy, creepy, and possibly not from Earth? Deep in the Siberian wilderness, Russian scientists stumbled upon a frozen creature so bizarre, they thought it might be an alien. In 2018, a team exploring the permafrost near the village of 𝐵olshoy in Russia came across a strange, leathery corpse locked in ice. It had a lizard-like tail, a weird elongated skull, and hands with 6 freaky fingers. Locals dubbed it the alien of Ural, and rumors exploded online. Was it a mutated animal, a failed lab experiment, or something from another world? Even veteran biologists were stumped. Some claimed it resembled no species ever recorded. Others whispered, it looks just like a gray alien. Photos leaked. Forums blew up. Conspiracy theories ran wild. It's an alien scout frozen in a crash landing. A secret Russian bioproject gone wrong. Maybe it's been here since the Ice Age, just waiting. Eventually, Russian officials confiscated the body. No more photos. No autopsy results. Silence. Why the sudden secrecy? What were they hiding? To this day, we don't know what it really was. A strange mutation? A hoax? Or proof that we've already met visitors from the stars? Frozen in ice? Hidden from the world? And wrapped in mystery? Whatever that thing in Siberia was, it still gives people chills. Would you dare go digging in the permafrost? Coming up next at number 2. Did you know there's a creature that lives inside ice? No, it's not frozen. It's thriving. Meet the mysterious tunneling ice worms of Glacier National Park. And yes, they're real. High up in the freezing glaciers of Montana, there's something strange wriggling beneath the surface. At first glance, it looks like the ice is moving, but look closer. It's full of microscopic black worms. These tiny creatures, 𝐬𝐿, are called ice worms, and they're about the size of a pencil tip. They've got no eyes, no lungs, but they can survive in solid ice, at temperatures below freezing. By day, they hide hide deep in the glacier, but at night, they tunnel up to the surface to feast on snow algae. They're like the midnight snackers of the frozen world. Scientists are baffled. How do they stay alive in such extreme cold? Their secret? Special proteins that act like antifreeze in their cells. Basically, they're nature's own cryo champions. But here's the weirdest part. If you take them out of the cold, they melt, like literally. Just a few degrees too warm and they start to disintegrate. These worms are built for ice and ice alone. Even stranger, they only live in a few glaciers in North America. If those glaciers disappear, so do the worms, forever. So next time you think glaciers are just frozen water, remember this. Hidden inside are living, tunneling, melting mysteries. The ice worms of Glacier National Park, nature's coldest secret. Frozen, fragile, and totally bizarre. Are ice worms the weirdest thing ever found in ice? At last but not least, hidden beneath 2 miles of solid Antarctic ice lies Lake Vostok, one of the largest subglacial lakes in the world. But here's the twist. In 2001, scientists using radar imaging discovered something strange lurking down there, a massive, perfectly geometric object. They called it the Lake Vostok anomaly. Why? Because this thing reflects radar in a way nothing natural should. It's about 300 feet long, and it's just sitting there, like it doesn't belong. Is it a natural mineral deposit? A secret Nazi base from World War II? Or could it be something not of this world? Some believe it might be an alien structure, preserved for over 20 million years beneath the ice. Here's what makes it creepier. Lake Vostok has been sealed off for millions of years, forming a time capsule of ancient life. When Russian scientists drilled down, they found weird microbes unlike anything on Earth's surface. What's down there, thriving in total darkness? Could something be alive inside the anomaly? But get this, after drilling started, several researchers suddenly fell silent and reports vanished. One even claimed their team was warned off by a strange force. Is it just science fiction, or did we just scratch the surface of one of Earth's last great mysteries? The Lake Vostok anomaly, what's really hiding beneath the ice? Hit that like if you want to see what's inside, and subscribe before they freeze this video too.